The lesson.
Oh, yeah.
Still late 90s. You're not a part of Terra Firma yet.
No.
Culture Kings hasn't dropped yet, and Certified isn't a thing yet. Now, you did mention, though, that in the process of making these mixtapes, because number 5 had the rapping on it from the Hoods and that, that then sort of transitioned into the first Culture Kings.
I think even after that, I was looking at doing like another tape or whatever, and I was pretty sure when I was living with Baz at Crossbred, they had this, basically Crossbred Studios, they had a good setup, man. It was like, I just used to sneak in there and use the decks or whatever, and just got thinking I want to do another tape or whatever. And then I think it was Kirk, it might have even been Kirk, they said you should turn this into, because there was so many dudes going there, man, like heaps of talented dudes. You should turn this into like, start doing tracks or whatever. And then, you know, look, Baz, you look at how many tracks he produced on that first Culture Kings, man. He just worked his ass off. Yeah, did heaps, man.
So how...
And that turned into... We started it, and then I thought, it's turned into... Because at the time, there was... I forget the name of it, but...
I know the one you're talking about, man.
Armado from Next Level in Sydney had released...
Compilation, and it had Delta on it, I reckon.
I'm not sure who's
Something
on it.
from the art...
Oh, no, that's different again.
That's
We're
one?
on that. Yeah, straight from the art.
Okay, I'm getting confused.
Yeah, there's a one earlier, and then there's another one, which the Hoods were on, I think, called a 4-element effect that Casino did. And I don't know, with both of them, I just kind of felt like, from everything I was seeing, like dudes recording and stuff at Debris, I thought, you know, fuck it, they've got better shit happening here. Yeah, and we just turned it into, you know, it got traction.
So when dudes were coming to record at Debris, like, so it wasn't a thing of like, you just sat down and go, all right, let's do Culture of
Eventually
Kings.
it was.
It was, yeah, but that's not how it started.
Nah,
it started because like dudes were just going over there.
Yeah, there was heaps of stuff there, man. Like heaps of different, like all Flack had recorded a whole heaps of shit.
Yeah,
like there's heaps of good shit there, man. Like
so like there's all these bits and pieces from
because I was
different
living
dudes.
there, I was exposed to it all, and I was like, this shit's killing half of the stuff that's on.
We should put it all together
and
onto one.
I don't know, because it was. I think both of those were a bit like. One was pretty Queensland based or whatever, and the other one was like pretty Sydney based. It wasn't like a real reflection on
the country.
Yeah,
it was just their particular cities.
Yeah,
and then so when you're listening to the stuff at Debris, is all of that stuff that's coming through still all South Australian, or are you catching?
At this stage,
at this stage, it's all South Aussie.
Yeah, like Trauma and dudes like that.
Yeah,
he was recording for him. Yeah.
Okay, and then. So this is probably, again, you know, late 90s because the compilation dropped in 2000 or 2001.
Yeah, 2000, I think.
Right? So
2000.
obviously this sort of part of it's happening in like 98, 99 or something.
Yep.
And then what'd you say? Kirk comes in and suggests...
Yeah, so basically, because PJ was living there as well, like Kirk was good friends with him, and like Kirk and Debris go back for... Maybe going to high school, whatever.
And was PJ managing the Hoods at this stage?
I'm not sure. I think so, maybe.
Maybe,
yeah. But definitely, like, during this period, PJ was always, like, the organised one. Do you know, like, I can never remember him being out without the backpack that had, like, folders and, you know...
Pens and flyers.
And shit, you know, there was always the organised. Kind of like the glue man, that, you know. And hopefully he gets, like, the recognition he, like, deserves, man, for this period. You know, he'd done Full Effect... Graph Mag with Carlos.
Yeah, I remember.
So those two basically did that. And that, you know, that's another like building block for the scene, man. You know? So he was behind all of that, and then the Hoods obviously early on. Yeah, he was a good dude, man.
And then obviously he's had a hand in this, you know, the cultures one.
Yeah. So basically he's like, who do we ask? You know, we started drawing up a list of people who to approach, and Kirk knew a couple of people in Melbourne or whatever, and this and that, you know, all connections were made, and it just snowballed, and you know, morphed into what it did. It was good, man.
So when you've got like, you know, Kirk speaking to dudes, you're obviously talking to dudes. Obviously, PJ is talking to dudes. At which point did you kind of know? You know, all right, we've got a compilation, or we've got enough music.
No, I definitely knew it was going to be something good. Like as all the tracks started happening, and I knew it was going to be different. And it's a whole different era, man. Like, it's so different. Like, it's like I did the artwork for that with me and my brother on his computer, just at his, like at his house, but fumbling our way through Photoshop and shit,
Who came up with the name?
Me. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So you did the artwork, you came
Yep.
up with the name.
Yep.
You obviously had a hand in the collation
Yep.
of
And
the music.
all the artwork, man. Yeah, it was just my brother and I. It was like, we just fumbled our way through it,
Yeah.
But the whole thing was to promote the artist and what's happening, That's why in the book, like in the CD lift out, there's like all the contact details for the artist, a bio, a photo.
Because
that was always what it was about, man.
Yeah.
Just promoting the artists.
and making things bigger.
Yeah,
and growing.
What the artists did with that promotion they were getting was up to them, off the back of it. And that's all it was about. There was no contracts, no nothing, no.
Nah, this is late 90s.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I reckon at the time it's 20 years, so I'm like.
It's all on homeboy level.
You know what I mean?
And I'm
like
this?
early 20s or whatever, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll do this. I'll do the artwork at my brother's house.
Yeah. Not knowing what you're actually...
Exactly. Not knowing what it was going to become.
Yeah.
By the second one I did, like that, I approached that completely different.
Yeah, but on the first one,
no.
you got no idea.
No. Yeah.
And it's very, it's very passion driven. It's like...
A lot of things with the first one, like one thing would happen, it would snowball, like the corner hotel show in Melbourne, like the release for it. Insane. Like Celsius, Local Commission, Crossbred, Hoods, it's like a landmark show, man, where everyone's together and everyone forged friendships and shit through it, and
So you toured that show?
Not really a tour.
You just did Adelaide and Melbourne?
and Melbourne, I'm pretty sure with that one.
Yeah, okay. Because I remember the people telling me about... I was only just getting into stuff at that point, like Aussie stuff.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that I remember people talking
and
about.
we're talking like... I'm pretty sure no one had hotels and stuff. People were staying with people they knew. It was all like on a shoestring budget at this stage.
Yeah.
And it's... Yeah.
And I guess like with, so you're collating the songs, you're doing the art, you've got access obviously to Debris Studio. He's got a hand in it. There's the artistic side of putting the compilation.
Yep.
Now, you're not doing contracts.
No.
So there's no real
And even as
business.
far as distribution, like as me on the phone, phoning Rocking Horse in Brisbane, I'm from Adelaide, I've just put out this.
Because Obese wasn't a thing at this point?
It was. They came into it, but at this stage, it's still like,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. They came in at the very last minute, when basically, like a funding issue. So basically I had a war chest ready to go to do the vinyl, but yeah, basically my old boy went to prison, and that everything I had saved went towards everything related to that. So then basically from there, Simo and his dad stepped in, funded a fair bit of it, and then to get us over the last hurdle, Shaz from Obese stepped in, and that was like...
I was before Pegs owned it.
Yeah. So Shaz
yeah.
one owned it, and we were in Melbourne, and because Brad was already on the compilation, he's like, what the fuck's going on with this compilation? When is it coming out? Blah, blah, blah. And we explained the situation to Brad Strutt, and Brad's like, I'll make the introduction to Shaz, to Sheen, and go from there. And it's great, man.
And so basically Obese ended up distributing the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And, yes and no, I can't even remember exactly, but I know
But
I did all here.
Yeah.
And it's like me on the phone, just stores and stuff. It was, full like, is it bespoke? Is that the right word? Full bespoke industry. You look back at it and it's like so different, man.
Yeah, you can't do that now.
Nah.
Like everyone's got, a publicist and a manager and there's contract this and contract that.
Yeah.
Now, once you've got it together, you got the music together,
Yep.
and obviously, how many copies of the vinyl did you guys do?
We did 300 vinyls, but one of the funniest things I remember from doing number one is because everything was on such a shoestring at this stage. We got, for some reason, we saved, I don't know how much we saved, but we saved money for doing it this way. We got it mastered at disc edits through Neville, and then we had I think the initial run was 300 or 500 of the CDs, and all of them were put together by hand by me and Kirk. Like, basically, we got the paper parts for all the CDs printed.
Like, and guillotine the covers and
No,
shit?
we didn't go as far, yeah. We got someone to guillotine it. But, no, like, basically, we had the empty CD covers with the spindles of discs from 2 different places, and then we had the artwork from another place, like the paper parts. Me and Kirk sat there like a production. Like, it was ridiculous.
And just did it. Yeah, wow.
I hope he looks back at it and just thinks that was fucked. Because I do. We were sat there at our house at Aberfoyle just going, oh, what the fuck, man? This isn't how it's done. Surely. It's funny, man.
No, I guess with
But you know what I mean? Like that's where it was at, man. It's like, and then after that, obviously.
Yeah, things progress.
Yeah.
Now, at that point, I mean, when dudes are submitting them, because how many tracks are on it? Do you remember? Like
18 or 19 or something, yeah.
Right? So let's say you got 18, 19 tracks that get submitted. Yep. Are they submitting the songs? They're not already mastered, are they?
As some were, some weren't.
But basically, you've got to pay. So as the person who's in
so basically
charge,
what happened is I've got all the whole album lined out. We went to disc edits with Neville, and he basically mastered the whole thing.
But you pay for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you pay for that.
Yep.
And then you pay for pretty much all the costs involved in the production of the release.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you remember off the top of your head approximately what it would have cost to put that out?
I've got all of the receipts though. I do. I do, man. It's funny as fuck. I found them the other day. It's like in a manila folder thing. This chunk.
Well, because like mastering,
no, I can't remember exactly.
Like mastering songs isn't cheap.
No, it's expensive, man. And
pressing vinyl isn't cheap.
Yeah.
Like just the whole, and then you got the CDs. Even though you did it by hand, that still costs money.
Vinyl for the second one, because what's that? 1,200 vinyl. It's something like 13 grand. 15 grand or something, man. With all the 1,200
copies of number 2.
Yeah, so
because it's 4 parts to one.
Yeah. So it was like one hit, and it's like.
But on the first one, you did 300 vinyls. And how many CDs?
The first one was 500. I'm pretty sure.
And then how many more runs do you think you did? But there were more runs after that.
Yeah. Kicked off from there. Yeah.
But the vinyl was only 300 ever done, and that's it.
That's it.
So that's why they're going for crazy.
I think I've definitely got one test pressing. I think Kirk. I'm not sure if he still got it, but I think the other one went to him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, from that.
Now you know we're at the point. Say it's 2000. The compilation's done. You're about to put it out. By this point, did you kind of know?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. I knew what was on it. I knew a couple of things were really going to stand out, like that barbecue song.
Is that Mass MC?
Yeah, so
with the mobile phone at the start.
And then they're speaking Italian or whatever. Well, that's awesome, man. Like,
it's like, you're not invited to my barbecue no more.
I think that got picked up on radio, and that kind of like, you know, again, helped.
The momentum.
And also like open Australia to like, okay, there's Oz hip hop happening, because that's like, you can't get more Australian than that, man. It's a song about a barbecue
song.
You know what I mean? I don't know, and it all played a part, you know. And that's what it was about. That's what, you know.
Now, what are some of the like off the top of my head? Obviously, I remember Mass MC had the barbecue song. I hope I've got this right, but I could have it wrong. Was number one the one that had number one had the Sentinel on it? No, number two. Okay, so
number one was live at the Jazz Lounge or whatever it's called.
Okay, and then there was the Lyrical Mongrels with LC. There was the big classic one I remember everyone was talking about was the Certified Posse joint, the 13 MCs and 3 DJs, which was you, Reflux,
and Debris.
Yep.
That was pretty epic. That was full on.
Well, yeah,
those days were great, man. It was like, yeah.
And so that's obviously off Culture Kings 1. That's where the whole certified.
Yeah, it was from there. Basically, even during recording that, trying to come up with a name as like a collective crew, and there were a few. Like basically, I think it might have even gone to a vote, but I remember a few that were written down, and you know that was the one that stuck. Certified Wires.
So basically, that happened.
Yep.
Through the production of Culture Kings 1.
Yep.
The lesson. Oh yeah.